If you can go out there and make a couple big plays, you can beat this team. And the Cardinals guy that should be able to make plays outside of Kyler is back in the lineup, and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr., that is great news, of course. I'm happy for him. Just the fact that he's out of concussion protocol. That's obviously a good thing moving forward. And let's hope, once again, he can refire the engines right now. To your point, there's no doubt about it. The Arizona Cardinals have got to be able to throw the ball down the field. This is the biggest challenge to this offense. It's the biggest challenge to Kyler Murray, in my opinion, is to go ahead and throw the ball. And anytime you're talking about making chunk throws, throwing the ball down the field, you know where you have to start, Basinonians? Protection. You have to start with protection. That's not going to shock anybody, but it's the truth. You can't have a quarterback trying to read coverage and make a throw down the field if you're not going to be able to protect your Q. And we all know that's been an issue.
Here's Jonathan Gannon on Saturday.
Marvin will go. Owen, Peppo will not be able to go. And we will not activate Darius. Other than that, we'll see the next couple days here. We're ready to go.
So here's more on Marv.
He's good. He does everything he needs to do, the protocol is obviously different, but he takes care of himself and maximizes his buckets, and he's really a true pro. So he had a good week. We'll see him out there today, but he's ready to go.
Glad to have Marv back, Wolf.
Yeah.
Feels like he hasn't played in weeks, even though it was really just 3/4 of one game.
For the most part, the Chargers, they love to play a lot of zone coverage, Basinonians. Ron Wolfley reporting. They love to play a lot of zone, and they're most likely going to play even more zone tonight. And the reason being is because of Kyler Murray. Now, listen, you never know. You never know. You might get somebody to, you know that we're going to play zone, so we might just go ahead and play a little bit more man, if you know what I'm talking about. It's all what their coaching staff feels like, what their game plan is coming into play against the Arizona Cardinals. But anytime you've got Kyler Murray, a lot of times you like to play, defensive coordinators like to play more zone than they typically do. And the reason being is because they want eyes on the quarterback. So much of the time when you play in a zone room, you are looking at the quarterback. You're reading his eyes, where he's looking at. It's what you do. You feel the receiver and you cover the receiver, but you're also looking at the quarterback a lot. And why is that a good thing for a lot of defensive coordinators? Well, because if Kyler pulls the ball down and starts running, their eyes are on him and not on a man that they're covering. So you can see it's one of the reasons why the Cardinals typically get a lot of zone cover.
I'm fascinated by just this matchup in general, and I'm trying to do the math on the air, so we'll see. I'm pretty sure this is right, though. Cardinals games this season, so them and the opponent, we're averaging 49.3 points per game in Cardinals games this season between them and the opponent. Really, the only low-scoring game was their game against Detroit. Everything else, 49.3. I don't know what the league average is, but 49.3. Chargers games, 31.4. Nobody scores in Chargers games. If I read you the score of these Chargers games, you're going to be like, wow, okay, what is it? They're all low scoring across the board. Even their wins have been low scoring. 22-10, 26-3, then they lost 20-10, they lost 17-10. That was against Kansas City.
Yeah.
And they won the last one 23-16. That was their highest scoring game across 23-16. So I am fascinated by the possibility of Marv just breaking one off. I mean, the consistency isn't there, but the big playability is. You figure the consistency will hopefully get there this season. Maybe it'll get there next year. I don't know. But as far as just, hey, there was a 47-yard touchdown to Marv, that could completely change this game. You're not playing Baltimore or something where they're going to just come back and put up 49 on you, or the Commanders. This is one or two big plays could really swing this.
No, that's a really good observation as well. I wrote that down on my notes. Somebody who needs to step up, of course. James Conner is one of those guys, Basinonians. He does. He needs to run the ball like he is capable of running the ball, like we all have seen. The Cardinals need to be able to bank on James Conner running the ball as physically as he always does. That's going to be really important, because play action coming off of it, I think, is also going to be very important in terms of throwing the ball down the field. And it's time for a bit of a breakout game, I think, for Marv once again. I know he's coming off a concussion. I'm so excited that he is out of concussion protocol, of course. But right now, it's time. He's healthy. He's good to go. The Chargers, as I say, they play an awful lot of zone. They need a dig route,
Yeah.
a deep in route. They need a guy to run that deep in route off of play action. They need a 9 route. They need a fade down the sideline against cover 2. They need a comeback route, a deep out route. They need that out of Marvin Harrison Jr., and that's what I'm hoping for.
I'm oversimplifying this, obviously. You took the guy number 4 overall because you want him to be the headliner of your passing game for the next 10-plus years. But right now, this is why you got him, is for games like this. A game like this, he makes 2 big, but he could go out there and he could have 3 catches for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. And that could swing this entire game. Even 1 touchdown in there. It's just his ability to make a big play. I don't know that the consistency is going to be as much of an issue tonight unless he's like dropping passes. But it's not. This isn't one of those games where it's like, well, we need Marv to have 9 catches for 150. Like, just 1 or 2 big plays could really change things. How much do you think Zay Jones helps him, if at all? Or how much do you think it helps Kyler?
I think Zay Jones is going to help Kyler because he's a pro. And Kyler's going to know and be able to bank on Zay Jones running the correct route, reading the coverage, whatever coverage it is, and running the correct route and being where he should be. That, to me, would be a big security blanket. And when you're talking about security blankets, you want pros. You want guys who are going to be pros. And, Trey McBride is a pro. That's a big security blanket for Kyler Murray. Zay Jones, you want to offer more and more guys that are pros. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a wild talent. He's a Mustang right now. That's what he is. You need to harness that Mustang and start producing. And that comes with time. But right now, I'm not going to call Marvin Harrison Jr. a pro. I'm just going to say he's a wildly talented dude. He's still learning himself, though.
So he's a Mustang, he's Maserati, he's Marv, and it's
Mustang,
Monday night.
Man.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.